Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll lead you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download these in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of hints and tips on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated, and please do share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the Grade 4 2018 Practice Paper B. So if you turn with me to page 12, we're going to continue with question 4. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this. Just try and pencil. It doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just have another go. Just rub it out and try again. You'll learn much more thoroughly by making some mistakes instead of just passively copying it through with me. And so I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and now we'll check through this together. So we've got a little melody here by Haydn, and we have some questions to answer referring back to this. So first of all, we're asked to give the technical name of the last note of bar 1, marked with a little star. So it's this note here. And the key is F major. So if F is note 1, this is the second. So F, G, and the technical name for the second degree of the scale is the supertonic, because it's super or above the tonic. That's that done. Now then, we have to choose one word from the list below which has a similar meaning to a sigh. Now, a sigh is kind of very, much, and so très is our French alternative to that. However, let's not just leave it at that. Let's make the most of this and get every drop of revision we can out of this. So let's also check what these terms are. So we know that très is very, avec is with, céder is yield, or I guess you could say relax the speed. And lent is similar. You can see the root word which is similar to lento and lentiment. Oh, hold on. You must also excuse my ropey pronunciation. And both of those mean slow or slowly, and so also does lent. So we can see a nice group there with the same root word. So we've got plenty of resource there to help us do a bit of revision. Now then, we have a little bit more to do with tempo here. Vivace means lively or quick. And so it's just getting a good bit of revision in for these performance directions. Remember, it's everything from grades 1, 2, 3 and 4 combined. And in the PDF documents, I do give you some tips on how to revise that. And I give you a little revision test at the end of the document in the grade 4. In the earlier grades, I show you how to organise your revision, and then I give you a little test just to help you on your way. So let's press on to the next question. So we need to rewrite bars 3 to 4 an octave lower, and we need to change from treble to bass. So let's have a look where we are. Now, the way to make sure we get the correct octave is to keep middle C in mind and then work from there. So bars 3 and 4, here we go. So here's middle C in the treble clef. If you imagine middle C sort of comes at the bottom of the treble and the top of the bass. Imagine you are literally meeting in the middle of the piano. And so here is middle C at the bottom of the treble. Imagine it's at the top of the bass. There's our reference point. And so here we're on the B above middle C, and so to drop this down an octave lower we need to be the B below middle C, and here in the bass clef that would be here. So that's our starting point, and now all we've got to do is just work everything out from there. So we have to go down a step, down a step, down another step which is sharpened, back up a step, back up a step. I think I've squished those together a bit, got a bit more room there, never mind. And then back up a step. Now we should be, if we just look at the original, we should be back where we started, and so let's just make sure that's the case, and it is. So we know we've not gone wrong anywhere. Now we go down a third. So 1, 2, 3 takes us here to the G, below middle C. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, up a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us exactly to middle C. And so we can tell here's middle C and we're exactly an octave higher. And so we've got exactly the correct octave by dropping an octave lower as required. And then we can have a couple of quaver rests, eighth note rests, and then here we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes higher. So from the C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes higher takes us to the G above middle C, and then we come down one step, so we only need 2 ledger lines now. And there we go. So notice I'm doing the note heads just now while I'm worrying about the pitch, and now that thinking's done, now I can think about the stems. Let's take it one step at a time, and I can see at a glance everything's above the middle line, and so I know it's going to be all stems down. So I'm sort of ending up in kind of the same place, maybe a slight downwards direction. And I think that's such a long beam, I'm going to use a ruler, keep it neat and tidy. Don't risk losing marks just because it's untidy. And then these can be beamed together. Why not use a ruler again? There we go. This is one on its own. And then these can be beamed together. Let's keep it tidy just as we started. So there we go, that's that one completed. Now we're going to just look over the next page and keep this other page handy still because we're still going to be referring back to the questions here. So now then, is it true that all the notes in bar 3 can be found in the scale of G major? Let's look to bar 3. Now G major does indeed have F sharps, however don't forget we've got a B flat here, and so that's false because we still have this B flat being active here, and G major does not have a B flat in it. So you'd think it would be correct, however don't forget your key signature is still in play, and so it's false because of that B flat in your key signature still. Now, is it true that there's a sign meaning forced or accented occurring 6 times within the melody? So let's see what we can find. So forced or accented is this SF symbol here. So is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's true. That's the correct definition, and it does occur 6 times. So that is true. Carrying on. Now we need to rewrite bar 6 using notes twice the value, so we've got to change the time signature to reflect that. Let's see what we've got to begin with. So here we've got 3 beats in a bar and we're counting in quarter notes or crotchet beats. And so in order to double that, what we need to do, we still stay in triple time, 3 beats per bar, but we double the unit value to half notes or minim beats, and that would then make the the time signature, 3/2. There we go. And so now we have to make all of the notes twice the value. So bar 6, here we are, and we would do that by either removing the beam so they stop being quavers and become crotchets, or we don't colour that in, it becomes a dotted minim, not a dotted crotchet, and then remove the beam so they become quavers instead of semi-quavers. So now then, let's see if I can keep that handy. So there we go, we're going bar 6, and we're going to be copying it here. So we have a C sharp, we have the D, but that's going to be not coloured in now because we've changed it from a dotted crotchet to a dotted minim. And then coming down a step, we need the natural sign, then we need the flat. So these will just have stems, we won't be beaming these together now. Just make that a bit longer. That will have a stem, that's a dotted minim, and then these two will be beamed together because these are now quavers instead of semiquavers, and so that's that completed. We can double check it and just make sure there's 1 minim beat, 2 minim beats with the dot and the quavers. That gives us 3 minim beats, so our time signature has been correctly filled. So we'll just double check it there. That's now correct. So now we need to give the bar number where there's 3 notes next to each other forming the chromatic scale. So we're looking for some accidentals to give us a bit of a clue. And actually, I think, just glancing through, see we've got a sharp here, but then there's nothing here. F sharp to G is a semi. I suppose that's not going up enough there, and then we've got too far a step there, so that won't do. However, the bar that we've just written looks promising because we've got a C, C sharp to D, and if you just look at that, C, C sharp to D, there we have a chromatic scale, and so the bar we've just worked on gives us the answer again, bar 6. So now we've just got some general orchestral questions. So name 2 standard orchestral instruments. We need to choose 1 string and 1 woodwind that could play this melody so it sounds at the same pitch. So we need to choose instruments that are comfortable in this treble clef register here. So in terms of strings, violin is the obvious one. I think you could probably say viola would reach that high, it's not too high in the range, and you could also say harp, I think that would be fine. However, violin is the most obvious one. And then if you're choosing woodwind instruments in the treble, you could go for flute, alternatively oboe or clarinet would all be appropriate. So now, just generally speaking, we need to name the lowest sounding member of the standard orchestral brass family, and the lowest member in the brass, we could say tuba, or even lower than that you could say bass tuba. Either one of those will do. The bass tube doesn't always figure in the orchestra, but either one of those would do. And now we have a little bit of percussion to think about. So we need to name 2 standard orchestral percussion instruments. There are lots to choose from, all sorts of whistles and bells and things go on. And one that produces sounds of definite pitch, so that's tuned, and then indefinite pitch, that's untuned. So tuned or definite pitch, so percussion is anything that you basically hit, and we need it to make a tune, we need it to have pitch, so you could say tubular bells. What else could you could say glockenspiel. Spelling, that's I might not have that right. Xylophone, and actually also the timpani, they are tuned usually to the tonic and the dominant. They are actually tuned. Indefinite pitch, now this is something like doesn't play a melody, so it could be like a triangle or a cymbal. Or I guess more obviously would be like the snare drum or the side drum. The list just goes on and on and on, so I think that will do. We'll just leave it there. I do hope this is helping you with your studies. I hope it's helping you to get to grips with this theory. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come, and please do share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbale.com and have a browse around all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.